Welcome students, I am your English teacher Sangeeta Sharma. In this video, we will study Class 8 English Literature Chapter 1 Poem Lines Composed in a Wood on a Windy Day. Let's start. Dear students, your English literature book name is Mulberry. Topics to be covered in these videos are introduction of the poem, introduction of the poetess, explanation of the poem, summary of the poem, exercise discussion and assignment. Students, before starting the explanation of the poem, I just want to give you a little introduction of the poetess of this poem. The poetess name is Anne Bronte. Anne Bronte was the youngest of the three Bronte sisters who were writers. Anne was educated at home by her aunt till the age of 15, means she did not go to the school till the age of 15. Her elder sisters were Charlotte, who wrote Jane Eyre, and Emily, who wrote Wuthering Heights. Annie's first published book was a collection of poems which contained poems by all three sisters. The collection, called Poems by Currer, Ellis and Action Bell, was published in 1846. So this is all about the poetess. You should know this thing also. Students, now I want to give you the introduction of the poem. The poem is an expression of the speaker's enjoyment of the wild weather with a sense of exhilaration. She describes the wild wind that is bringing everything to life in the wood where she is walking, and she shares with the reader her longing to witness its effect on the sea, lashing against the rocks and sea wall and spending up giant whirlwinds of spray. And you should know few questions answers also before starting. Why do you think nature inspires people to write poem? Because in the nature's lab we feel refreshed, we feel energetic and we feel positiveness. So nature inspires people to write poem. And what aspects of nature inspire you? Nature's natural beauty, calmness inspire us. Now first let us read poem. My soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring and carried aloft on the wings of the breeze. Around me the wild wind is roaring, arousing to rapture the earth and the seas. The long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing, the bare trees are tossing their branches on high, the dead leaves beneath them are merrily dancing, the white clouds are scudding across the blue sky. I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing the foam of its billows to whirlwind of spray. I wish I could see how its proud waves are dashing and hear the wild roar of their thunder today. Now, students, I will explain the poem line by line. So let's start. The speaker says that her soul is awakened, her spirit is rising high, as if it is being lifted up by the breeze. The wild wind is roaring all around her, evoking a feeling of extreme pleasure and happiness all over the earth and the seas. So this is all about this stanza. I am repeating one more time so that you can listen carefully. The speaker says in these lines that her soul is awakened, her spirit is rising high as if it is being lifted up by the breeze. The wild wind is roaring all around her, evoking a feeling of extreme pleasure and happiness all over the earth and the seas. Now, stanza 2. In this stanza, the long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing. Glancing means shining. And in the fourth line, skidding. Skidding means moving quickly across. So there are two difficult words in this stanza, glancing and skidding. Glancing means shining and skidding means moving quickly across. So I am starting the explanation of this stanza. The long, dry and shriveled grass is shining in the sunshine. The trees which have shed their leaves are moving their branches from side to side, back and forth in the air. The dead leaves are dancing merrily beneath the branches. The clouds are moving swiftly and smoothly across the blue sky. One more time I am repeating this stanza. The long dry grass is shining in the sunshine. The trees which have shed their leaves are moving their branches from side to side, back and forth in the air. The dead leaves are dancing merrily beneath the branches. The clouds are moving swiftly and smoothly across the blue sky. Now, stanza 3. I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing. Lashing means hitting. And in second line, the form of its billows. Billows means waves, ocean waves. The ocean waves are beating against the shore. The mass of small bubbles on top of the waves are turning into columns of spray that move round and round. She wishes, she means poetess. She wishes that could see that. She wishes that she could see how the large and tall waves are dashing against the shore. And she wishes she could hear that day the loud thunder-like noise that they make. Means in this stanza the poetess are thinking about she's wishing ki, how could I see that ki how the waves are formed, how they are dashing against the shore, all these things. She is wishing all these. Again I am repeating. The ocean waves are beating against the shore. The mass of small bubbles on top of the waves are turning into columns of spray that move round and round. She wishes that she could see that. She wishes that she could see how the large and tall waves are dashing against the shore, and she wishes she could hear that day the loud thunder-like noise that they make. I hope you understand this. Now we will discuss the exercise of this poem. So let's start. Your first exercise is choose the correct answer. Let's read. Choose the correct answer. The poem is set in a wood, at the seashore, in a market. You understand it very well as the name suggests of the poem. The poem is set in a wood. Second, in this poem, Anne Bronte describes the effect the wind has on her, the earth, and the ocean. She has on the ocean, the earth, and the wind. The ocean has on her, the earth, and the wind. What will be the correct answer of B part? The answer will be first. The wind has on her, the earth, and the ocean. Third, the pattern of the rhyme scheme is. The pattern of rhyme scheme is AB, AB. Student, first you should know what is rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is what? We have to see the first line, last word of the poem. Like in your poem, the first line, my soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring. Soaring is the means A. We assume it A. And after that we will see the second line. And carried aloft on the wings of the breeze. Breeze and soaring, no rhyming pattern. So A, second B. If they both are same, then we have to assume it AA. Now soaring and breezing are not same rhyming pattern. So soaring A and breeze B. AB. Third line, around me the wild wind is roaring. Roaring is almost similar to soaring. So A, B, A. Arousing to rapture the earth and the seas and breeze are same. So A, B, A, B. What will be the rhyme scheme of this poem? A, B, A, B. I hope you understand. Read these lines and answer the questions that follow. My soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring and carried aloft on the wings of the breeze. First question, what causes the poet to feel joyful? The poet feels happy because of the lovely breeze and its effects on the surroundings. I am repeating one more time. The poet feels happy because of the lovely breeze and its effects on the surroundings. Now, second question, what according to the poet is carried with the breeze? The soul and the spirit of the poet are carried along by the breeze. Again, I am repeating, the soul and the spirit of the poet are carried along by the breeze. Now, third part of first. What does the poet mean by soul is awakened? By the words my soul is awakened means poet wants to say that she feels very happy. Soul is awakened means the poetess feels very happy. B. The long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing. The bare trees are tossing their branches on high. First, explain the long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing. These words describe how the grass that has withered is shining again in the sunshine to the wind. Again, I am repeating. These words describe how the grass that has withered is shining again in the sun shining to the wind. Now, second, which season of the year is it? How do you know? This is the autumn season. This is the autumn season. And the second part, how do you know? Because the trees are bare. Means there are no leaves on the trees. Only this you have to write, because the trees are bare. B-A-R-E. Third part. Why are the trees tossing their branches? The trees are tossing their branches because the bare branches of the trees are blowing in the breeze. Because the bare branches of the trees are blowing in the breeze. Blowing, B-L-O-W-I-N-G. Now see, I wish I could see how its proud waves are dashing and bear the wild roar of their thunder today. First part, what does the poet wants to see? The poet wants to see the movement of the ocean because of the wind. The poet wants to see the movement of the ocean because of the wind. See second part. What are the waves called proud? The waves are called proud since they are rising due to the wind to such a height that it gives an impression of them being big, imposing and proud. Again I am repeating this answer. The waves are called proud since they are rising due to the wind to such a height that it gives an impression of them being big, imposing and proud. Now see third part. Give an example of personification from the lines above. The words wild winds and proud waves are examples of personification as here the poet imposes human qualities over the winds and the waves respectively. Again I am repeating. The words wild winds and proud waves are examples of personification as here the poet imposes human qualities over the winds and the waves respectively. Spelling of respectively respectively. Students, few questions I want to give you as a homework. If you are not able to do, then after few days I will give you the answers. But first you have to try it yourself. Later on I will upload these answers on the portal. So first question, describe the rupture of the earth. Second, what sounds are mentioned in the poem? Third, which words and phrases evoke the turbulence of the ocean? If you had to give an alternative title for the poem, what would it be? Give reasons for your answer. This answer can be different for everyone. By your choice, you can choose the title of the poem and justify it. Fifth, give examples to show how the poet's mood is reflected in nature. So all these you have to try by watching this video carefully and listening the explanation. You will get all the answers in explanation only. So students, in this exercise what you have to do? In each row, circle the word that best describes the mood, feeling or tone that the lyrical lines express. So the first one is, my soul is awakened, my spirit is sorry. What will be the mood in this line? Exhilaration, means the poetess was excited, very happy. I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing. In these lines, I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing. The mood in these lines are longing. And third, I felt a funeral in my brain and mourners to and fro. In this line, as you understand by reading this, I felt a funeral. Funeral means, you know what is the meaning of funeral. So in these lines, the mood is of sorrow. D. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. Joy. The mood in these lines are joy. Forlorn, the very word is like a bell to toil me back from thee to my soul self. Solitude. In these lines, the lyric mood are solitude. So you have to do this also. If you have the book, in book you can do, otherwise in your notebook you have to note down this. Students, you should know what is haiku. Haiku is a traditional form of Japanese poetry that has 3 lines and 17 syllables. A haiku is lyrical, usually written about nature and express a mood. Syllable, we are again and again using this word. What is syllable? A syllable is a part of a word pronounced as a unit and it has one vowel sound. The word syllable has 3 syllables: S-Y-L, L-A, B-L-E. So this is called syllables. For example, haiku's example I am giving. Everything I touch with tenderness, alas, pricks like a bramble. Now exercise. Divide the haiku given below into 17 syllables. The first line, the summer arrives. 5 syllables. The, 1 syllable. Summer, S-U-M, 1 syllable. M-E-R, 1 syllable. A-R, 1 syllable. R-I-V-E-S, 1 syllable. So there are total 5 syllables. Second line and third line you have to do it by yourself. One I explained for you so that you understand how we have to do. Now next exercise, complete the haikus started below and then write some on subjects of your choice. Syllables is given, 1 line is given. Haikus, I told you 3 lines of poetry. So 1 they have given you in your exercise, 2 more you have to add. So you have to do this by yourself. This is your home assignment. Thank you students for watching this video. You have to watch this video and complete your assignment in notebook. Watch this video again and again for better understanding and complete your assignments in your notebook. And one more thing you have to do, you have to write your name, class and section in the comment box.